The death of her husband saved my marriage. This story changed how I treat my husband, and it might save your marriage too. Welcome to Dark Moon Folktales, where every story has a shadow. If you enjoy the story, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's begin. Susan attended the funeral of her close friend's husband at Langata Cemetery. She held her wailing friend tightly as the casket was lowered into the freshly dug grave. The friend screamed, "My husband, don't leave me please, don't leave me." The children cried loudly too. The sight broke everyone's heart. Losing a father is never easy. If not for Susan's grip, the friend would have thrown herself into the grave. Her husband had taken his own life, he said life had lost its meaning. But Susan remembered something that chilled her. This same friend, many times, had complained bitterly about her good-for-nothing husband. She had said, "I'm tired of him." Yet here she was now, screaming and fainting at his death. Her grief was real. And it pierced Susan's heart. At that moment, as Susan watched the pain, she remembered her own husband. She realized how often she took him for granted. How she spoke to him however she pleased. How she gave him the silent treatment over small issues. How she denied him intimacy without explanation. How she often focused only on his flaws. She remembered that morning they argued because, once again, he left his dirty plate in the living room. He left the house angry. And suddenly, a terrifying thought hit her. What if my husband dies today? Would a dirty plate really be worth the fight? Would this be the final memory they would share? She began to reflect on all the beautiful things he'd ever done, the ones she had brushed off. In that moment of sorrow at the funeral, Susan's heart changed. She said to herself, "There's no other man I'd rather share my life with than my loving husband." She realized how much she loved him. And how much she still wanted to love him better. Later that evening, after ensuring her friend was in safe hands, Susan stopped at the supermarket. She picked up a greeting card that said, "Thank you for being in my life." When she got home, she cooked her husband's favorite meal. She gathered the kids and told them, "Today, we're going to celebrate your daddy." That night, when her husband walked in, he expected tension. He expected cold silence, but instead, he was welcomed with hugs, singing, and warm smiles. The kids had made drawings of him. There were heartfelt messages. There was laughter. Then Susan stepped forward with the card, looked into his eyes and said, "Thank you for being my husband. I love you." Her husband broke down in tears. "Is today Father's Day?" he asked, overwhelmed. Susan smiled through her tears and said, "No, it's Lover's Day. From now on, every day you are alive will be a day of love in this house. I don't know how long we have together, but I won't waste it on fights and complaints." He pulled her into a tight hug and said, "I love you too." The kids cheered and danced around them. From that night on, their home changed. It became a place of warmth, kindness, and deep appreciation. Sometimes, it takes the death of another to remind us how fragile life truly is. Don't wait until it's too late. Cherish your spouse while you still have the chance. Don't let pride, complaints, or little misunderstandings rob you of peace and joy in your home. You don't need to wait for a funeral to show appreciation. Love loudly and live kindly every day.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.